Joined this evening by a local author, Sherrie Malkin-Thompson. We appreciate your time this evening on the Talk Back. And the book we're talking about tonight is called Innocent Victim. Now, I'll say this. It's unfortunate you had to write this book because the raw experiences that are in this book are your experiences. Tell us a little bit about those.
Okay, what brought me to write it is was to be very therapeutic. Being sexually assaulted back in 1976 and not being able to talk about it, because it wasn't, back then you just didn't talk about stuff like that. It was kept secret, which I did, kept it secret. And when I was about 6 months along, pregnant, and I didn't know this.
You just realized that at that point.
Right. Then I knew I had to confront it and speak with my family and tell them what was going on.
Okay, so and that had to be extremely difficult, but then you're able to put it into words so many years later. I mean, and you didn't tell many people for so long. Walk me through the process of why you decided not to tell people, and then eventually how you got to a book.
Okay, well, I didn't want to tell anybody because back then there was a stigma of, you know, if you were pregnant, that was bad girl, or you were going to be sent away. And in town we had it was called the Crittenden Home, and that's where pregnant girls went.
Right.
And I think my family didn't want me to be one of those girls, so all that really knew was my mom and dad, my immediate siblings.
Right.
And my best friend and her mom. And we just kind of kept it at that. And just over the months and months, we just didn't talk about it, and then it just got easier to not talk about for my family, not for myself, because of course I was pregnant, and I was going to school. I was going to school at Owens in marketing, and I was also working as waitress at Frisch's, so I was very public and in the public eye. But so I tried to keep things, you know, dress larger clothes, you know, and kind of keep it covered up. And then after I had the baby and put him up for adoption, then, you know, it just kind of got easier to live with life. But now I came to this point where I'm at a good point in my life and I want to put it out, and it's very therapeutic to write it and get everything out and kind of let people know that, you know, I do have a story that I've never been able to tell.
Now, was there any one thing that made you say, A, I need to get it out, I need to get it off my chest, and B, I want to put it in print and share it with essentially the whole world?
Well, I've always wanted to write, always. From the time I was probably in 4th grade, I used to think I was going to be a freelance writer, you know, and going to change the world. And I always wrote...
You still may. There is time. Don't worry about that.
Yep. Well, and I always wrote poetry and diaries and journaled and all that kind of thing. And I just knew I was going to have something published, and I always told my kids, before I die, you guys, I'm going to be a published author.
Well, congratulations.
Did not know that this was going to be the venue. But
do you feel like this could maybe, if there's other victims out there, and I know there are other victims out there, that if they haven't come forward and told their story, not to this extent, but just to their family members or their loved ones, do you think this might inspire them to do that?
I do. I was at a craft show where I had this as a silent auction item, and it was amazing, the people that came up to tell me their story, and it was almost saddened me, but it made me feel good that I've got mine out there, so maybe some other people can talk about theirs and get it out.
And if people want to talk to you tomorrow, you have a signing of the book. If people want to come out, tell us where that is.
That's at the Downtown Latte, 44 South St. Clair. It's from noon until 3, and Ron and Jason that own it have opened it up for me for those 3 hours.
And so even if people just want to chat with you, they can come down and do that tomorrow.
That would be great.
Well, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it, and thank you for the courage to write something like this. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. And that's your Talk Back.